this is Alvena from Bulgarian Mama's Cooking and welcome to another food vlog. And if you're wondering what that weird noise is, this is my dryer. I guess we are multifunctional in here. I'm gonna start today's video with an amazing, awesome, super easy chicken noodle soup that everyone can make. Right here behind me I have a pot that has 4 liters of water, and now I'm about to add some chicken to it. I'm using chicken drumstick. It is organic. I do like this brand that I'm using, but yeah, what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna wash the chicken. It's because in this house we are washing the meat. After I wash the chicken, I will put it in the pot and I'm gonna give it at least 30 minutes, maybe 30-40 minutes to boil. And this way I'm gonna be making my own chicken broth. However, I'll also be adding a little bit of chicken stock cubes later on. And now what I'm doing here is I'm prepping my vegetables for the chicken noodle soup and for the moussaka. I'll need a carrot and onions for the chicken noodle soup, and then potatoes and carrots and onions for the moussaka. So what I'm doing here is peeling the potatoes and the carrots, and then I'm gonna give them a good wash. I have the potatoes and the carrots done right here. Got potatoes and carrots. Potatoes we're gonna use for the moussaka that we're gonna make, but I wanted to show you a moment that is important for the chicken noodle soup. So we have foam that is formed. You have to remove that foam. So what I'm gonna doing is just using a very simple method by grabbing a spoon and removing all the foam, and this is gonna go into the sink. So actually I found that using a bowl is just easier way to remove the foam, but there we go, the foam is removed and we're gonna let this boil. So now I'm gonna start prepping for the moussaka, and for the soup I'm gonna prep my carrots by using this little attachment on my mixer. I'm going to shred them, and then I'll cut the potatoes on medium cubes, or medium to small, and I'll take care of the onions as well so that I can start preparing everything and everything can go into the oven. I'm about to start cutting my potatoes. Right here I have my cutting board, my chef knife that I absolutely love, and my potatoes, I'm gonna cut them into medium to small cubes. After I'm done with the potatoes, I'll take care of the onions. I'm gonna need, like I said, onions for the soup and for the moussaka. It is important that they are very finely chopped. And now I'm grabbing a veggie pan with some olive oil on the bottom, and then I'm going to saute the onions and the carrots. But to get this beautiful, gorgeous color of the chicken noodle soup, you need to kind of like cook the carrots a little bit, right? So we're cooking the carrots a little bit, and then we're gonna put this over here. We're gonna let it boil for another 10 minutes. And I'm gonna take the meat out. We're gonna let it cool down a little bit, and we're gonna remove the bones and the skin. This is the color that I'm talking about. Okay, so because of the carrots, you're gonna get this beautiful soup, chicken noodle soup color, kind of like yellow orange. Here, this is the color that I am absolutely talking about. So now the chicken has been inside for about 10 minutes boiling. Now I'm going to remove it. So because I filmed this video at night, because it was getting very late, I decided not to wait for the chicken drumsticks to cool down, and I just used this technique with 2 forks, and I removed the skin, the bones, and every single accessory that this chicken drumsticks came with. However, if you wait for them to cool down and then you just use your hands, it's definitely going to be easier. And this is what you are looking for, little chicken pieces, and then put them back into the pan with the soup. In this soup I'm going to add chicken stock as well as some savory, and of course I'm adding black pepper as well. I did not add salt because the chicken stock cubes are salty enough. And now that the soup has been boiling at least 15 minutes after we added the chicken to it, it's time to add the last ingredient, and that's the vermicelli. Add the vermicelli, give it a good stir, and then wait at least 10 minutes for the vermicelli to be prepared. And with that, the chicken noodle soup is ready. And again, vermicelli can be found in Eastern European stores or Arabic stores. Behind me I have carrots, onions, and the potatoes in the pan with some olive oil, and I'm gonna grab my spatula and kind of like mix it all up a little bit. So when you're doing that, you're going to speed the process of cooking. You don't have to wait like an hour for the potatoes in the oven. It's gonna be just so much quicker, because usually if you cook a moussaka, it's gonna take maybe 2 hours to prepare it, but this way you're probably gonna get it done in half of the time. So I think that's pretty awesome, right? No spices yet, nothing, just the onions, which you caramelize a little bit the onions, then you're gonna add the carrots, and then you're gonna add the potatoes. And now we're gonna mix everything up. Okay, there it is, spatula on the side, and I'm gonna get my lid. And we're gonna let it cook. I'm gonna let it cook for maybe like 10 minutes. Don't cook the potatoes all the way through, just cook them halfway, and then add some dried mints. Trust me on the dried mints, they go really well with the potatoes, as well as some nutmeg. And the next step is to prepare the ground beef. Again, I am going to use my spatula and try to make it into little small pieces, just like this one. And then I'm gonna almost get it done, and right before it's done I will take it off the oven. And now it's time to prepare my 2 glass casseroles. On the bottom I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil, and then I'll mix the potatoes and the ground beef together. I'm adding a little bit of vegetable stock cubes on top, and then just a little tiny bit of water. This is how much water you're going to need. Don't put a lot of water because you're gonna get mashed potatoes. The 2 casseroles are going in a preheated at 350 oven for 10 minutes, and meanwhile I'll make the moussaka filling. I'm using smoked Gouda, Parmesan cheese, and mozzarella. You can only use mozzarella, you don't have to add the rest of the cheese. In a large mixing bowl, I'm adding homemade yogurt. Now if you don't have homemade yogurt, store-bought will do too. And then a little bit of baking soda, some flour, and then 3 eggs. And remember, the better the quality of the products, the better the outcome is going to be. I'll stir everything very well, and then the last thing that I'm going to add is this Bulgarian seasoned salt. It's not really salty, just a little bit, and I absolutely love the spices and the herbs that are inside, so I'm adding a little tiny bit to my filling. But if you don't have such a spice, that's okay. Now before I add the filling, I'm going to add a little bit of fresh garlic and some bay leaf. Now you can do that sooner. I just did it now because I forgot to add them a little bit earlier. And after I'm done with the garlic and the bay leaf, I will literally cover the whole thing with the filling. Now you do want to make enough filling so that you can cover the whole casserole. And now with the spatula, I'm kind of like lifting on the sides a little bit so that the filling can go everywhere. And then the moussaka is going back in the oven for another 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how crispy you want the moussaka to be. I like mine really crispy, so I keep it in the oven for about 50 minutes. And if you made a mess around the casserole, make sure to clean it up, otherwise it will most likely burn. And now 50 minutes later, look at that beautiful outcome, and I assure you it smells and tastes amazing. And here are the beautiful outcomes of my really hard work. The last finishing detail that I'm adding is fresh chopped parsley, and yes, it changes the taste a lot, and I definitely recommend that you do that as well. I also like to squeeze a little bit of a fresh lemon on top of my soup, even with the moussaka, so if you feel like it, then do that as well. Thank you again for watching and supporting Bulgarian Mama's cooking. If you liked and enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Support my channel by hitting that subscribe button. Don't forget the bell so that you know every time when I upload a new video. And I will talk to you very soon. Bye for now.